communist regime. We are here united with one voice against China's communist authorities who are killing Turks, Uyghur Muslims. They are taking Uyghur families to concentration camps. They are executing political prisoners. They are taking tourists to hostage. We demand our Canadian prisoners in China, 2 Michaels, to be released immediately. China must release all political prisoners immediately. China's communist regime is a violator, #1 violator of human rights in the world. They have the biggest number of executions in the world. China is exporting its technology. We are Huawei, ZTE, and other companies to support dictatorship governments, to install spying devices. We don't want Huawei in Canada. That's a danger to our national security. We want China to be out. We are human rights defenders, and they are putting our human rights at risk. We want China to be out of Canada, out of Iran, out of all countries. They are supporting dictatorships, and they are putting our national security, peace and democracy in danger. Thank you. Let's stay united against China's and other dictatorship governments.
What do we want? Democracy. Where do we want? Iran. When do we want? Now. What do we want? Democracy. Where do we want? Iran. When do we want? Now. What do we want? Democracy. Where do we want? Iran. When do we want? Now.
Iran has been occupied for 41 years by a terrorist, corrupt Islamist regime. A regime that came to power by communist and Islamist cooperation. Our Iran, so ever sadly, has the highest rate of execution per capita in the world. Its solution for any opposing voice is just elimination, which the regime has learned from its masters, such as China. In a remarkable worldwide attempt, we were able to save the lives of 3 of our countrymen for now. Islamic Republic from day one treated Iran and Iranians as hostages.
My good friend, she's a good writer, and from the day one she came to Canada as a refugee. She has stood against Sharia law. She has stood against Islamism. Mrs. Sima Tashdini. Sima John, come here. Welcome.
Even in this weather that could ruin everything. The Chinese Communist Party is in a position that Nazi Germany could only dream of. The world didn't know about Holocaust until they saw the evidence. But the world today knows about the crimes of the Communist Party of China, and it chooses to remain silent. They see what is going on in the streets of Hong Kong. They're watching live as Hong Kong takes its last breath for freedom, as China strangles it for the final days. They see what the communist regime of China is doing to Uyghurs, or as we call them, Uyghurs, in concentration camps, or as they call them, re-education camps. How they're using their body parts, their hair, their organs. I'm not going to talk about what happens to Uyghur women. And the world keeps staying silent. The Communist Party of China destroyed the world's economy by keeping COVID-19 a secret, while their lackeys at WHO sang their praises and provided false information to the world. The world is still silent. Last week, China made a 25-year deal with the Ayatollahs in Iran. That means the two countries with highest execution rate in the world are now allies. The unity of socialists and Islamic fanatics 40 years ago in Iran created the Islamic Revolution, which destroyed the country and caused chaos in the Middle East for decades. Now we have that unity on the world stage. God help us all. We, refugees and immigrants who escaped the grip of totalitarian regimes across the world, call on our leaders in Canada to wake up, at least those of them who don't owe anything to China. Canada is our final refuge. We have nowhere else to escape to. Implement the Magnitsky Law on Communist Party of China, the Islamic regime of Iran, and its IRGC.
Yes.
Expose and banish corrupt politicians who are owned by the CCP and the Islamic Republic from your parties.
Yes.
There should be no appeasement with regimes that hold millions of innocent people for the crimes of being in concentration camps and using their bodies for spare parts. Thank you.
What do we want? Democracy. Where do we want? Hong Kong. What do we want? Democracy. Where do we want it? Hong Kong. What do we want? Democracy. Where do we want it? Hong Kong. What do we want? Democracy. Where do we want it? Iran. What do we want? Democracy. Where do we want it? Iran. What do we want? Democracy. Where do we want it? Iran. Iran, then Hong Kong. Okay. What do we want? Democracy. Where do we want it? Iran. What do we want? Democracy. Where do we want it? Iran.